There are 3 key stages of recovery from chronic fatigue syndrome that you need to know about. Now, these are things that your doctor has probably never told you. I wish they did. In fact, our team are working very hard on figuring out how we can educate the doctors across the world so that you have practical information at your fingertips. These 3 key stages are vital to understand in your own recovery. Depending on where you're at in these stages really matters, because based off your stage, we then dependent on what you'll be doing day to day and week to week in order to help you get from stage 1 all the way to stage 3 so you can get healthy and start living again. At the end of this video, you'll learn exactly what it looks like to be integrated back into life, living a normal life, and what that looks like on a day-to-day basis. So, number 1 is the restore stage. Now, in the restore stage, this is really important to understand. This is the acute stage of suffering. So if you're going through chronic fatigue syndrome and you're in stage 1, this basically means you're suffering a lot. You're going through the symptoms of chronic fatigue syndrome on a deep level. You're acutely suffering. Maybe you're sleeping 16 to 18 hours a day. Maybe you're just consumed by your symptoms. It's the most horrible experience when you're in stage 1 because it almost feels like your life is over and you don't know what to do. And so because it's an acute stage, what we need to do is restore energy into the body. We need to restore energy back into the brain and the body so then it can come from a place of calmness and you can get some energy in, because right now your brain and body is depleted of energy. And so the first thing we need to do in the restore stage is to actually stop yourself from getting into the energy deficit. Now, what I mean by that is that you don't keep pushing and crashing or spending energy that you don't have. Right now, if you're in the acute stage of suffering and you're putting yourself in an energy deficit, you're basically never going to be able to move forwards because you've got no energy to survive, right? And your brain and body is just doing its best to survive right now. In order to thrive, what we need to do is stop you from doing the yo-yo push crash cycle, stop overdoing and overspending energy credits that you don't have so you can stabilize. Now, of course, just like a really great house, you can't build an amazing house on a shaky foundation. And this is why phase 1 and stage 1 is all about the restore stage, so you can rebuild and stabilize your energy levels, so then you can build upon and progress physically and cognitively in the areas of where you want to go. A couple of simple tips here in the restore stage. Your fundamental routine and structure, your baseline day-to-day really matters. So looking at your sleep regime, making sure your nutrition is adequate and you're doing really well. And also making sure that you are having energy in activities that recenter you, calm your nervous system, and really help bring the energy credits back into your system so it becomes calmer, more stable. From there, you can start to progress. Now, stage 2, once you're out of the restore stage, you move into the Restrengthen stage. And in the Restrengthen stage, this is all about re-strengthening your brain on a cognitive level and your body on a physical level. Now, this is where you're going to spend the most time. In your recovery, you'll be in stage 2 a lot of the time. Why? Because it's on a spectrum, right? If you think about it, if you're at a low capacity, it's going to take a little bit of time to build your strength and capacity over time so you can start to feel stronger in all areas of your recovery. Now, you can't go from 0 to hero. And I know for a fact that that's what you've been trying to do, because chronic fatigue syndrome doesn't affect lazy people. I've never met a lazy person with chronic fatigue syndrome, and I've worked with thousands of them in 78 countries. And this is why it's important to know that you want to go slow. Consistency over intensity, COI, that's what we call it. Consistency over intensity, which means that you'll be consistent on a day-to-day basis to rebuild and re-strengthen your brain and your body so it responds and adapts appropriately to the stimulus that you give it. Now, if you want to get back to hiking, let's say, you're not going to start on a hike. You're going to start by walking around the house. You're going to start by building up your physical capacity on a functional daily level first, before you then move into structured movement programs to rebuild and recondition your body appropriately so you can eventually go hiking. Same thing with reading a book. You're not going to read a whole book in one night. In fact, I had a client who when she started with us, she couldn't even read a sentence. Like, that's how hard it was cognitively with her capacity. Now, fast forward a couple of years, she just completed her first book, right? She can read a book within 3 weeks. Now, she couldn't even read a sentence in a whole week. Like, that's how hard it was for her. And so, as I said before, recovery is possible, progress is possible, but we do it over a period of time, not overnight. Now, in the Restrengthen stage, what will happen, some of the benefits you'll start to see is that the progress you'll see is that your skin starts to get better. The coloration in your eyes start to come back. Your hair starts to grow better. Your nails come back stronger. You'll start to notice your digestive system will get better. If you start doing the right things at the right time, you're going to start to notice improvements on an overall level. In fact, people in your life are going to notice wins and progress more than you will. And so just ask your family, friends, say, hey, have you noticed any progress with me lately? Only if you're doing this right and you're actually implementing this practical plan, you should start to see benefits. Again, over 6 to 12 months, you should start to see muscle tone in your arms again if you're doing restorative movement. You should notice that you'll have less brain fog in the mornings, you'll sleep better in the evenings. Like, all these things will start to happen as you do the right things over time. Now, the great thing is, once you move from the Restrengthen stage, we get to the fun part. We move to the Re-energize stage. Now, this is really important to know. Energy is the last thing to come back in your recovery from chronic fatigue syndrome. You might not have heard this before. So it's really important to not measure your progress with how much energy you have, but measure your progress with how much capacity and stamina and strength that you are building over time. Now, when you start to re-energize and move into the re-energize stage, there's obviously a phase as you transition. There's transition periods. So it's not just black and white. There are transition periods and phases through each stage. In the re-energize stage, this is where you're going to start to integrate back into life. Think about the hobbies that you want to do. For our clients that we work with, a lot of them is physical sports, hiking, biking, riding, snowboarding. Travel, cognitive capacity, reading, writing. We've got book writers in our program. We've got, scientists. We've even got doctors and psychologists in our program doing our program. And so maybe it's getting back to work, study. All of these things you'll start to do more of in stage 3 of recovery. And we call this a lifestyle integration, integrating back into life. Being able to do the things you want to do without feeling any worse than you currently do. And what happens is, over time in the re-energize stage, this is where energy starts to come back. This is where you actually wake up and go, oh, I have like true energy. Not adrenalized energy, not fake energy, not stimulant fake energy, but true body energy, because you've built your strength and capacity over time. Your brain and body is now functioning appropriately like a healthy person. This doesn't happen overnight. Typically we see this around the 9 to 12 month mark, even longer for some people, depending on how long they've been unwell for. But what's really cool here is you get to choose the fun and the challenges that you have in your life. There are 2 types of challenges in your recovery. There are choice challenges and challenges that choose you. Choice challenges are ones that you get to choose, which is the integration stuff. I want to work more. I want to do this. I want to do that. It's fun. Choice challenges versus challenges that choose you. Challenges that choose you is initially what you had to deal with in stage 1, which is chronic fatigue syndrome. You didn't choose it. You didn't want it. It wasn't fun, but you had to deal with it. And so as we move into stage 3, you get more choice challenges, which is the fun part. You get to choose the challenges that you want to embark on so you can start to move forwards and get better. Now, here is where you'll notice the most significant changes, where you'll look back a year ago and go, oh my God, like I'm a different person. Like, people will actually look at you and go, oh my God, what have you done? Like, you look amazing. We've had doctors say to our clients, your blood work is better than what it was before you got sick. Like, we're measuring before and after, and it's like, your blood work's even better. What have you done? And they haven't done anything fancy. They've just focused on their holistic health and rebuilt their health over time. And as your health goes up, your symptoms go down. And so, again, whether you're in stage 1, restore, you need to restore energy in the body. Stage 2 is all about re-strengthening and reconditioning your brain and your body so you can then do the things without feeling any worse than you currently do. And when you do that for a long enough period of time, COI, consistency over intensity, you move into the fun stage, which is the reintegration of life. And this is where you reap the rewards because you've worked so consistently, so committed to the process, and remembering that recovery is a process and a rehabilitation process of the brain and the body. And it's so awesome when we see clients all around the world get their life back because they did stage 1 and stage 2 properly, which helped them get to stage 3 to go and live their life again. I hope this video was helpful. Remember, no stage is fixated. It's not black and white. There are transitional periods. Make sure you do the right things at the right time and you will get the right results.